It's on me.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Antonio, also known as Antistrada Hair. I'm here at Edge Salon in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. I am also one of the top Modern Salon Top 100 game-changing artists. I'm so excited to be doing this today. We're going to be doing 3 of my favorite techniques. Thanks to UniWigs, I have all these beautiful wigs to practice on, to braid. Briefly before I get started, I want to talk about product use real quick. I don't really use a lot of products when I'm braiding. I feel like natural hair is the best, but if the hair's a little too dry, I always tend to use maybe a shine spray or some oil. Today I'm not going to use any of those. I just think it's really important to know. I want to get right into braiding, so let's get started. So today I'm going to do more of like the hair weaving on this beautiful copper wig. I always love to use my pink pewter never let go comb. I love this, especially for this technique. This technique's really fun, and it's kind of like, I always compare it to the top of an apple pie, which is kind of crazy and funny, but it's kind of the same technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a section like this, and that's why this comb is very important, because you can get sections really easy. So this will be my base section right here, and then I continue to get pieces like this. So when I start getting my new pieces, what happens is this one goes under like that, and then when I pick up more, cut up a little bit, when I get more, that one went under, so then this one will go over just like that. This is a technique that you might need more than 2 hands, so you might need an assistant if you're just starting out, but I could manage all these strands on my own. I also will show you how to use a clip later on. So that strand went over, so now I'll put this strand under like that. And then continue the technique, just like that. So that'll be the start of this braid. You can see it, oops, this one goes over. So as you guys can see right here, it already weaves through. You can't really tell that much, but it's weaving up, over on those. So what I'll do now is I will pin this down, and I will start on the other side. So let's switch over, just like this. So I'm gonna grab the same amount of hair for these sections.
Everyone is loving the wigs.
Oh, good. Yeah, also guys, if you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer. Go ahead and feel free to ask away. I got my team here helping out. All right, so as you guys can see, oh, I messed up a little bit. Looks like I messed up just a bit, so I'm gonna start over here.
There's a viewer on here saying that with all the messages, the work can't be, like, you can't see the work. You can hide your messages, like you can hide the comments, just FYI for those watching. If you want to only see the work, just hide the comments.
Oh, for the people that are watching, cool.
Yeah, just trying to help them out.
Okay, so there we go. So that's gonna be under, over. Sorry guys, I had a little mishap right there. Just gonna get the technique going. Now that that's done, I'm going to go to this side.
A lot of people are asking where the wigs are from also, and who sent you these?
So these are UniWigs. They are synthetic hair. They are lace front as well. I love them for braiding practice. They've been really good to me. I love UniWigs. So as you can see, I'm just continuing the technique over here. So I will grab a new piece. I always like to make sure to stay really clean and consistent when I'm braiding too. So if something's going wrong, I like to address it right away. And as you guys can see right here, I went over on this section here. So now I'm gonna go under on this section. So under, and then continue my weaving. So under, over, and then under. Just like that. And now you'll start to see some of that weaving happen. So as you can see right there, some of that weaving starts to happen. I'm creating looks that are going to be very, very like simple looking. So I'm just going to do this right on the top and then let this long hair really showcase. So I'm only going to do to about the occipital bone and then stop. and I'll show you guys how to tie it off as well. So here, under, it went under, so now I'm gonna go over like this, and then under, and then over. I recently just posted a picture that I did this on my Instagram, also on Modern Salons Facebook. So if you want to see like what this good look's gonna look like, you can go and check it out. I love this technique. You could also do this on a bigger scale. You could do it on a smaller scale. I've done it like off of a ponytail. So there's a lot of ways you could utilize this technique. So I went over there, and I'm gonna go under, over, under. Just like that, guys. So you can see I really use this clip to really help me with another set of hands.
Everyone is loving it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's one of those things where, you know, at first you're kind of like, oh my God, is it working? You know, like, what the heck? But then after you start to do it, it's like, oh, okay, I can do this. And also remember, guys, I was not the best at this technique when I first started. A lot of these braids have just taken a lot of practice and a lot of effort. So, you know, this did not just happen my first time. So make sure to keep practicing, keep working. I plan on doing more tutorials, so hopefully you guys will see some of those. So I'm just alternating back and forth just like that. It's really coming to life now. I'm gonna do one more on this side, then I'll transition to the other side. So remember, guys, on this braid, I really wanted to do it a little bigger so it could be super impactful. Again, this could be done with small pieces of hair and it would still work really well. But I just like it a little more bold. See how this one went under? So now I'm gonna transition going over. Over, under. So now I will pin this off right here and then start working on the other side. So when I come over here, all these pieces should already be picked out for me just like that. Super simple to grab. That's why this comb comes into handy. I also want to touch on something really quick, guys. I think it's really important to make sure that you are setting people up for the right end result. So if someone came in here with, you know, all level 2 hair, you might not get this really impactful image because the hair is too dark. Move with me. So obviously these vivid colors, any kind of blondes are always going to look the best because there's more dimension. So just remember that when you're braiding. You might braid someone's dark hair and then not really fall in love with the result. It might be just because the hair is dark.
Lots of questions on the comb. If you want to touch on that again.
Yes, this is the Pink Pewter Never Let Go comb. I love it. I've loved it for color. I love it for braiding. Sometimes I put it down, unfortunately, but it is supposed to be used more like this. I love it. It's really cool, and it looks really awesome. Love you, Pink Pewter. So yeah, I'm going to keep going in. So as you guys can see, this will be over. So this one's going to go under. This is where it gets a little complex, guys, because I have like 6 strands. So I'm going to do this. Really just weave that piece right through. It seems a little crazy, I know, but if you just get it down, you will get it.
There's been a few questions. How long have you been an educator and a stylist?
So this year will be my 5th year being a stylist. I love doing hair and it's been really fun. I have been an educator for 3 years now. And I feel like educating has really just taken me to the next level and created a lot of opportunities for me. And I hope to be educating more in 2018, so keep a lookout for any classes. So it looks like this little guy kind of got, let me try this one over. So it looks like I made a little mistake over here. I missed a guide.
Do you say anything in your head to remember the motions? I would.
Yeah, so this is like one of those like up and over kind of things. I do love braids that have like some kind of saying, you know, but this one is just up and over. And again, guys, it's gonna take me a little longer because I only have 2 hands. Obviously, when my assistant's working with me, she holds a lot of these sections and we kind of do it together. But it's definitely doable. I would say if you're starting out, to make sure, don't be as ambitious as me and do like all these crazy, you know, all these crazy sections. Just do like 4 or 5 max. This little guy's gonna kill me right there. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do one more.
Antonio, how do I be like you when I grow up? She said, I love it.
Just practice, practice, practice. I'm telling you guys, when I started here at the salon under 4 years ago, I couldn't braid that well. I couldn't do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now. So I just took a lot of, practice and determination, and I got it.
Someone asked if you invent your own braids.
I would love to say that I do, but unfortunately I feel like all these techniques are already done. They're already kind of done. So what I like to do is just kind of put my own twist on them. I'm just gonna pull this one guy because that one did not work with me and he got mixed in the bunch. So just like anyone, guys, I kind of messed that one up a little bit right there, but back to normal.
Look at that fix.
Over, under. Lily, can you help me out, please? Hold this section right here. So it looks like I need a little help, which is going to be really nice for me. So you guys see the technique's really good. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to show you guys how to end this technique. I love it when it's just like that. I don't think it needs to be more than that. But if you wanted to, you could make this whole thing go all the way down. Just know the more pieces you add, the more intricate it's going to be. So with that being said, so the cool thing about this braid as well, so if I hold onto these 2 pieces here, my braid is secure. So let go over that, Lily. Oh. You can see, so the whole thing's secure. So I'm going to make sure just to do this right here. So I'll still have you hold that, Lily, really quick. Is that one strong? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. That's also another little trick, guys. If you are in this intricate braiding and someone's handing you bands, make sure they hand it to you like kind of open. It makes things a lot easier. Sometimes you don't have 2 hands to open up that band. So this is super secure right there. So even if you want to, you could pull these out a little bit and play with it. I love it. I think it came out really good.
Love it.
I think I might have missed a little thing right there, but I think it still looks really impactful. I'm going to finish this off with a couple pink pewter jewels just because I feel like any type of updo or braid always looks really good with some bedazzle. Who doesn't love anything shiny? I love anything bold and like crazy. So I'm just going to hit it with a couple of these pins. right here. It's also a good idea to have something like this, just so you could hide the band a little bit. So look down for me. Also, if this was not a wig, I would probably add some shine spray or something like that, just to really finish this look off. Yeah. How's it look?
Looks great.
That's like the basket weaving technique. Let's turn it a little bit like this, maybe we can see some more detail. Yeah, so there it is. Any questions coming in?
Everyone loves it. Please take photo of the finishes, of course. Gorgeous. Yeah, everyone's loving it.
So I've got
Awesome.
some questions here for Antonio. So when did you start to braid?
So it's really interesting, guys. I've always loved hair, and for a lot of my life, I kind of hid that passion just because I was not ready to explore it. So I've always kind of braided a little bit, but I really started braiding when I started working here at Etch. When I first started here, everyone was so good, so I wanted to be like the best. So I just like practice, and it's paid off because now I feel like I'm really good at braiding just like intricate stuff. With that being said, I'm going to go into the next braid. I'm going to do like a French infinity on her. Again, because she has like this really beautiful wig on, it's going to be really impactful because the colors are really nice. If the hair is going to be all one color, you might not see it like I said before. Just make sure you feel good. So as you guys know, an infinity braid is going to be just like the infinity side. So it's going like this, also known as like the figure 8 braid. So I feel like whenever I first started, that's what I was kind of really known for and kind of did a lot of. So I didn't create this, but I worked on this French style infinity braid. This one was really hard for me, guys. Like it took me a while. I actually gave up for a little bit, but I'm back and I conquered it. So I'm going to start. So let's go on this side, Megan.
Okay. And yes, to everyone asking, these are all wigs.
Isn't it awesome? I mean,
Yes,
look
all
at
this
that
hair.
next one.
Everyone is loving all this hair.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to find models. And I'm like, wait, actually I could just.
Yeah, I could make anyone a model.
Yeah. So, just like any infinity braid, we are going to start with like a 2-strand infinity, obviously 2 strands. You can make this really complicated and do up to, I'd say no more than 4 strands, but I'm gonna start with this here. So, because it's a French, I'm gonna grab pieces from here and just start doing the infinity. So, piece here, I'm gonna go under, over, under, over. Just like that, just to start it off. The key thing here is whenever you're doing a French infinity, the section that you start off with, you're gonna wrap it through until it becomes the same side that it was on. How much time are we at? So this is also gonna be this side, so I'm gonna do the same thing. So this is where it gets a little confusing, guys. So you wanna make sure this side is gonna be the one that's wrapping. So I go under, and then what I have to do here is I have to make these 2 sections one section. I know, it sounds really confusing, but it's the only way.
I looked at him like, what?
So then I go in and I'm gonna grab this, making that one section like that, and then wrapping this around those 2 pieces, and then bringing it back to the side where it started. Just like that. So I'm gonna keep doing the same thing. Actually, let's start this over really quick. Let me just start one more time. I didn't like the way that was doing. Also, that's another big thing, guys. If you're not liking the way something's happening, I would say just take it down and start fresh. There's been a lot of times that I do a whole look, and then during the look, I'm like, oh, I don't really like that piece, but I'm like, screw it, I'll just keep going. And then at the end, it's that one little area that bugs me. So I would say, if something's going wrong, take it down and start over.
Modern Salon was asking where everyone's from. We've got like Ireland, Oklahoma, Texas. Lots of California. I think I saw UK earlier. Getting international.
That's right. So let me just start this up and then we'll go over it a little bit more. And again, guys, this is going to be one of those braids that's going to be very structural, and I think that's where I gravitate towards a little bit. I want it to be like really clean and like precise, and although, you know, a lot of these bohemian like beachy braids are in, I love those too, but I just always gravitate towards like more of these like really harsh, not harsh, but like hard, intricate braiding. All right, come on. So I'm gonna go under, and then I'm gonna grab these two right here, make that one, wrap it around, and then just bring it back to the same side that I got it from. Just like that. So new section, under, come on, wig.
So there's a question. Are you starting from that point because it's a wig or because that's where you want the braid to start?
Just because that's where I want the braid to start. That's where I'd say a lot of these things. It's wherever you want it to start, that's when you could do. This is gonna be a French style, you know, so you want to have some hair to kind of pull back and forth. If it was just gonna be separate, I could do it anywhere. Like if it's just gonna be like a freestanding one, I could have done it anywhere, but I just wanted to show like the French style because I think that's a little more complex and a little more confusing. And also I'm going under too, so that's gonna make the braid pop out a little bit. Anytime you braid under, the braid is gonna pop out.
Someone asked what you do if there's breakage or layers.
Oh, okay, that's like such a good question for this because this is not a technique that you use on someone that has layers. So keep that in mind. That's why I picked the model with the wig with the one length. If you start to braid this braid with someone that has breakage or layers, it's gonna start looking like a caterpillar. So the braid is gonna be really tight and then you're gonna have all these little like flyaways. So this is not a technique that you use on someone with that type of hair. It is like a really tight braid, so it could add more breakage if you're not careful. So make sure it's like more on one length hair. I know it kind of sucks that you're limited when you do this braid, but I would not recommend to do it on anyone but that.
Do we know how long this video, like how long this is going to stay on Modern Salon? Will it be up on the Facebook
I think it's
page
going to
a
be there,
while? Okay.
yeah, for all day at least. I think normally it's that long, or it could be.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of repeat questions, guys, and I'm not answering all of or asking him all of them just because they've already been answered, so you can just go back and like watch all the video.
Or I'll be answering a lot later, guys. Whenever this
Yeah.
is over, I'll make sure to answer. Also, guys, I am being a little more aggressive with her because it is a wig and I feel like it's a little tangly. This is a one length wig, so it feels like a little rough on the ends.
Oh yeah, there you go. Modern Salon said it will always be up here. He's doing an infinity braid right now.
French infinity, yeah.
French infinity.
As you guys can see, it's starting to come along right there. That's the kind of look that you're going for, is like just more of like that. I kind of want to start over. I feel like I'm not really liking it that much. Just one more time, guys. I feel like something's going wrong.
What would you tell a client with layers if they really wouldn't want anything else?
I'd maybe do like a ponytail. You know, do a ponytail and then do it on the end of the ponytail. I think that might be really good. Let's give this one more whirl, and then we'll move on to our next one. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to start this over one more time.
The perfectionist.
Yeah. I know
And that's a lot of things with this. A lot of times, guys, I will braid someone's hair and then hate it, you know? And so I feel like that's like just being an artist. But I will say, like, a lot of times I've taken a lot of pictures, did not like them, went back in to my phone to look at content, and I was obsessed. So take pictures of everything that you do.
This question, I notice you're pulling sections from the front 2 quads. Do you stop grabbing a section at the ear?
Yeah, look up a little bit, please. Yeah, I would say to continue grabbing until you want it to stop. So for here, I'd probably go through right here and then stop it. I think that'd be the best. I feel like this technique is just not wanting to be on my side today. Yeah, so as you guys can see, I've tried this multiple times and it's still kind of giving me a little bit of hassle. So that's just going to be the way it is when you're starting. I do not know why it's not working today. Okay, let's do this one more shot. I think I got it this time. Hold on to it a little bit for me, Alexis.
This braid looks very challenging. Word.
I mean, I don't know why. I'm like, why did I pick this one?
No, it's good. You can't rush perfection. That's what a comment said.
So another question I have for you, Antonio, is how do you stay passionate?
So I feel like it's a really good question because I feel like that's one thing in our industry that kind of happens. People lose a little bit of that passion. I always tell anyone that's new, it's really fun, but it is a job after a while. So one big thing that I do is I try to just make sure that I'm very present on social media and just really learn a lot of cool new techniques. Also having being around like-minded people like myself really helps. I try to travel a lot. I try to, work hard, but also play hard. So I think that's what kind of keeps me going. Also educating, I feel like has been such a big blessing for me because I've learned so much doing it, and I've also, I'm able to teach people. And I feel like that's just, a positive. So if you guys are feeling less passionate, make sure to take a class or, I'm telling you guys, I learned so much stuff online. I just, will watch some video and oh my God, I got a new color technique or a new something. So always just stay motivated and watch videos, stay educated. Thank you, Lily. Finally, it's working. You guys so excited?
Actually, you got a lot of comments saying they're glad you had to start over because it helped more. They're able to watch it a couple times.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, thank God.
And it makes sense the more, you see it.
Thank God. I'm like, oh my God, it's not gonna work. Today I do this all the time. Am I talking too much?
What advice would you give if you struggle braiding under? It's just practice.
Hand placement.
Yeah.
Hand placement. So I know that I've only been taught under. So whenever someone wants me to braid over, I feel like I have a trouble with that. So it's just practice. Always practice. I feel like right now, sorry, Lily.
Oh, you're fine.
As you guys can see, this is a really tight, super tight look. So make sure that your client is aware. Yeah, so just practice, guys. Watch a lot of videos. Get your hands in hair. I do a lot of braiding. I feel like another reason I kind of started getting good is because my assistant, she has long hair. So anytime we have a cancellation or anytime anything like that would happen, I would just braid her hair. That's what I would do. Just like anything in life, the more you do it, the more you're gonna, the more it's gonna work. So you guys can really see the image now. Thank you. Thank God that it's coming together. But I'm just gonna go over the technique one more time, a couple more times. So any new piece, you want to make sure to, let's put her up a little bit. So new piece over here, you wanna go under. You're gonna go under your strand, grab it like that, and you're gonna turn these two strands into one piece. Like this, and then go over, and then put that strand back on the side that you got it from, so over here. So new strand, go under, make this into two right here. Make that into one, I'm sorry guys, so turn that into one strand, and then go around just like that. So yeah, so that's the look. I'm gonna continue this with just without French so you guys can see that as well. So I will just continue to wrap that piece around. So I'm just gonna wrap it around just like an infinity, just like this. So that's just like a regular infinity braid right there. Whenever you guys run out of hair, you just wanna add hair here. Just from either strands, just like that. And then wrap around. Is it falling off?
No, it's good.
So today's all about technique, guys. So these are gonna be, this could be utilized anywhere in the head. So this could be, I've done it like on the ponytail, I've done a low pony and just did the infinity right there. This is gonna be really good. Can you get me a rubber band, please? Hold the bottom. I always think that it's very smart to use a band because I feel like that's gonna be the most secure. Obviously, I would not use the black band on this hair. Oh.
Everyone thinks you make it look too easy. Right?
There it is, guys. I'm gonna do a couple more tricks to show you how to fix this problem right here, which can happen. I'm gonna get my pins. So a little trick for this part right here, you could just get a pin right in here, pin it down. That's gonna help that one stay. Let's see if I need that big pin. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, not yet. That can help it stay down just a little bit more, guys. Yeah, and that's the look right there. French infinity into like a regular infinity right there. Kind of always reminds me of like a rattlesnake.
Right?
Like a rattler. I'm gonna show you really quick to hide the band. I think this trick is really cool. I always use like a big hairpin. This is just like the easiest and most efficient way to do this. So I wanna make sure that you put the band right under the rubber band right there. Like that, you see that, guys? You wanna go pretty far because you want it to be able to put hair there, and then you grab a piece. Yay, it busted.
No.
My band busted.
Literally the third band is broke.
I have been told that I've been like kind of rough, so maybe it's me. So let's hope that this one stays intact. So you want to go right under like that, grab a piece of hair. And
A
then
lot of
this
people are
part, I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, I say a lot of people are saying double bands, so they don't break.
And then you just put it right through there just like that, and you see that? And then you push it down, and this is the way you hide a band.
Ta-da.
Just like that, guys. There you go. Perfect, I love it. All right, moving on. So before we get started, like let's look at this wig. Like this is so good. Look at this here. I think I did a collaboration on my page with Megan, and she wore this wig, and we did so many different braids. It was such a fun day.
That was fun.
It is just so shiny. It is synthetic, guys, so you can't like wash them or curl them or anything like that, but they're good for braid training. I would also say make sure to, if you can get like a long hair mannequin, that always helps to, you know, just get the technique down. So this is gonna be a stacked braid. I love my take on this braid because it's really simple and super effective. So let's get started. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off a section right here. Just a round section. Lily, will you help me with this?
Yeah.
So just a round section here, because that's going to be the top of my, keep it on. Look up a little bit.
Everyone loves the hiding the band trick. Game changer.
Yeah, guys, what I'll do with these wigs too is I'll put it on a mannequin, and then after I braid it, then I'll pop it on one of my friends. So they don't have to wear it the whole time I'm braiding. That's why it's fairly a little new to me to braid it on an actual head. But normally I'll just like braid it first and then just pop it on and take the Instagram photo. I actually had a client like want to just try it on. She was thinking of buying one, so I popped it on her too. So yeah, this is gonna be the top part to my stacked braid. So I want to just make sure I get that out of the way, and then we'll braid that later.
A lot of questions about products for frizz, which you mentioned at the very, very beginning.
Yeah, guys, so what, you know, a lot of people braid with like creams and stuff like that. I like to keep the hair as natural as possible. I think that's when it looks the best, especially for more of this intricate detailed braiding. If anything, I'll just put like a shine spray in there. If it's really dry, I'll add an oil. But other than that, I'll just keep it very simple. If the hair's too oily, you're gonna have to wash it and kind of, you know, start fresh. That's what I like to do.
Do you feel it's more difficult to braid a wig?
Well, I mean, no, but that braid was
Well.
kind of, normally I feel like no.
Usually it's easier
But it's easier, but
because the hair has more slip to
Right
it, especially if it's
now, yeah.
synthetic.
I mean, it's just really good to have a wig because it's long. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like that's like the big thing, especially with braiding. You want to make sure to just create these like really. If you want to create long looks, you have to have long hair. So sometimes it's hard if you don't have that length.
Ooh, let's get to 1,000 viewers, guys. We're
We're
almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. All right, so first off, it's just gonna start with a really basic Dutch braid, French Dutch braid. So it's just gonna be, you know, really basic braid, and then we'll like write 1,000.
Uh-huh.
Yay!
Yay!
So I'm gonna start, you know, again, this is really, really basic. I love this technique because it's really impactful. Even though I do super intricate braiding, I also do like these really romantic styles that I love, and I feel like they get so much love. So just know that it doesn't always have to be this crazy tight braid. It can still be really soft and, you know, structured. So 3 strands just like this. I'm going to braid under, and then I'm going to add. So this is just a simple French Dutch braid. So Dutch means it's going under. So as you can see here, I'm going to grab, go under and grab like that. Very simple. So another technique that I like to do is I have to free up one hand to grab the new section. So I'll grab this middle piece with this, and then I grab my bottom piece here. So everything's kind of held with one hand because I need this hand to grab my next section. Same thing with this. You know, I'll grab here and I'll rotate my hand under, grab those two pieces, and then move on to my next one. As you guys can see, it's so much easier when I have a helping hand. Normally she doesn't have to hold down the wig. This is like a special privilege, but normally they help with other things. Oh, wait. I gotta not get confused. All right, so I'm gonna go under like that, and then every time you're gonna add. So every time you grab hair, every rotation you're gonna add hair. So as you guys can see, this is the new piece. Put those pieces right in there, Lily. Yeah, perfect. So the new piece here, I'm gonna add it to my outside piece and make it go under like that. So, new section, add it to my outside section, go under, and right there, just like that. Ooh, this one's going smooth.
How do you know how much hair to add to your outside piece?
I would always say to have, as you guys can see, I'm not adding, so come over here, Megan. So I'm not adding like this whole section. Do you see that? So I'm just adding that piece and it's gonna make it look like I'm adding all that. If I were to add all this hair, it's gonna make the braid way too bulky. So I just always like to add a little bit, like kind of fake it, you know, like make it look like I added a lot, but I just normally add a little bit of hair. I can't say like an exact amount, but I'll just say like what you're comfortable with. Just like a lot of things in this industry, it's kind of, you know, you develop your own style, you develop your own way. I know that I've taught people a lot of braids and then they just kind of, their hand placement is different than mine, but it still comes out the same braid. So whatever like works with you, I think is gonna be ideal, but you just have to practice, you just have to try. And I feel like most clients would be totally okay with this braid. So really try to push this one. It's a very, client-friendly braid. So as you can see too, I elevate it just a little bit, so whenever I release, it'll have a little bit of that, so just make it a little more dramatic, and then I'll start pulling out. I'm gonna do one more rotation before. Okay, so now I'm gonna start pulling out. I feel like this is the really fun part. I always like to start to pull out whenever I'm like almost halfway done, because I don't wanna wait till the end because it's gonna be too tight. So I'll just start pulling out just a little like this. I know that I'm dealing with long hair, guys, so I'm not too worried about tugging on it. If you know that you're dealing with layers, then be very careful here, because if you pull it too much, you will be kind of screwed. You'll have to kind of start over because that layer will just like pop out right there. So I'm just gonna put out a little bit like that and continue my braid. Okay, so I'm gonna end it there, guys, and I'm just gonna continue to braid this down. So I'm gonna start to pull out just a little bit more, just so it doesn't get too hard to pull out later on.
Lily's helping hold the wig on.
Were they asking what she was doing?
Yeah.
I tend, like I said earlier, to be a little rough, so this hair is not attached to her head, so the wig could pop off.
Yeah. Oh, I love these. These are my favorites.
They're always like a crowd pleaser. This is
Yeah.
always going to be like, oh my god, everyone always loves these.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, guys, this is a very simple braid. You know, what I'm doing now is like really, really simple. So if you could perfect this, you will be able to make someone very happy. So make sure you got this one first, and you can start going into bigger, bolder, more structured braids. I also want this to be pretty big because I'm going to lay something right over. So that's why I'm just kind of messing with it more and more and just kind of pushing it, pulling it. It's really funny too, guys. I will, spend so much time on this braid, post it, and they're not really that big of a deal, and I just do like a simple 3-strand like this, and it goes viral. So that tells me that, sometimes simple is good. People just want to see simple technique. It doesn't have to be so crazy. See, if she had short layers, this probably wouldn't be that impactful because you probably have things popping out, but it already looks so good. I feel like it.
Beautiful. Can we see from this side?
I also like to make it like very unique, so I took it all the way here, so it just gives it like a different look, and then it has all this length here. I just like to keep things a little different. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna braid it down. Break this up a little bit. And then let's get on to the stack braid. So normally, guys, I've seen some stack braiding where they pull sections out of each braid and then they braid those right on top. I think that's really confusing and a little more difficult. So that's why I created this one where you just like lay it right on top. So it seems very easy and it's very impactful. So this one right here, that's when I let this down. Just so we can get a lot of techniques into today, guys, I was going to just put like a regular 3-strand braid on this, but I'm going to do like a different technique so we could get as many techniques as possible today. So this one's going to be the 4-strand braid.
Oh, yay.
I feel like this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
This one is one of my favorites, and the great thing about this one, it has like one of those sayings I was talking about, so I will teach you that as well.
Yeah, this one looks like a chain when it's done or something.
Yeah. So obviously by the name it's 4 strands, so you want to make sure you have 4 strands. So the key to this one is, the saying is 2 over, 1 under. Do you want to pull it more? You okay, Curly?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 over, 1 under. That's the saying for this one. So what that basically means is I'm going to take this one, go 2 over, and then under this one like that. So 2 over, 1 under. So 2 over 2. Did I say that right? Over 2 under 1. Is that what I said?
You said over 2 under 1.
Yeah, so it's over 2 under 1. Okay, I just want to make sure. So over 2, over 1, 2, and then you go under 1. Just like that. just like any braid, it's gonna start off like a little weird and you're gonna be like, what the heck? It doesn't look like anything it's supposed to, but just keep doing it. So now I'm gonna rotate to the other side. So this one is gonna go over 2 and then under 1 like that. So over 2, under 1. Rotate to the other side, over 2, under 1. Other side, over 2, under 1. Under 1. So guys, this is a braid that you don't want to pull apart. So this is not a technique that you want to pull apart. You want to keep this very structured and very clean. And a funny story about this, guys, I was teaching one of my first braid workshops, and I had taught like a 3-strand and a 5-strand, and then I told them, actually, I don't even know if a 4-strand, and then one of the girls taught me. So it's like, sweet, now I know a 3-strand, a 4-strand, and 5-strand. So yeah, you never know, who's gonna teach you or what they're gonna teach you, but I learned a braid in my braid workshop. So there you go, guys, it's starting to come along. So if you ever get lost too, it's always gonna be the strand that is like next. So you can see like here, that's already done. So this needs to go over 2, under 1, just like that.
Is the under 1 the last strand you went over?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So let's do it one more time. It is kind of confusing, guys, but look how cool it's already looking.
Yeah, it looks so dope.
So look down a little bit, Curly. So, okay, so I have 4 strands here. So this strand's gonna go over 2 and then under this one. So I'm gonna go over 2. Oh, is that the next one? Yeah, that's the next one. Over 2, under 1, just like that. Can you tell online? Can you tell on the phone?
Yeah.
What's going on? Are my fingers good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over 2, under 1. Seriously, guys, this is like a technique that seems so like complicated, but once you get it, it's like I could do it with my eyes closed. It's such an easy technique. Yeah, so it's just a really structured braid. 4 strand, it's like right on top of that really beautiful Dutch braid. I'm just gonna keep going.
No products, guys. He doesn't really use them a whole lot. He's not using them for these applications either. If he does, it's like a shine spray or an oil just for some slip.
Yeah, I really try not to use too much. I normally just like to prep the hair like more natural. I mean, if it's really, really dry and like really kind of, just a little more compromised, I will put some oil in there, or I will just try not to do super structured braiding on them. That's when I'll start doing like more romantic, more bohemian kind of braids. But normally I don't really like to use too much because I feel like it just doesn't do good for me. So it's totally like a rope.
Yeah.
If you ever need like your hair to be like into a rope, like this is the braid. Look at this. It's cool too because it's like 3-dimensional.
I know, that's what someone said. It looks like a 3D braid. It totally does.
Yeah. Maddie. Right, guys, so there's that. I'm just gonna add it together really quick, and then I'm just gonna add a quick pink pewter, and then we will be done. So I just like to put it right in there just like that. Another, let's see. Here, guys, you could do the same thing I taught you earlier with the bands. You could hide those. Today, I already showed you that technique, so I'm going to leave it like that. I just want to add a little bit of jewels because, like I said earlier, I am like obsessed with anything like shiny and like glitzy. So that's the stacked braid right there. Take a little look at that.
Gorgeous. Getting all the love. Look at all these hearts all over the screen right now.
Yeah, I love this one. And again, guys, you got to remember it's like really, really impactful because look at the color. The color is gorgeous. So just know if you get someone really blonde, braid them. Like make sure to do some kind of braid and take an image of it. I'm going to add these beautiful pink pewter jewels. Look at these. I love these so much because they have like the Velcro on them. I've always been obsessed with the Velcro ones. I don't know why. I just love them so much. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and just put these in and just create like a little bit of magic. So the cool thing about these is you just put them on and then you just massage them in and they stick right to the head.
Yeah, there's Velcro on the other side of it, so you can literally place them anywhere. Super cool.
Yeah, so this is the stacked braid. I have a 3-strand Dutch underneath and a 4-strand on top. We got the French Infinity right over here. This one gave me a little bit of problems, but I got it, thankfully, like right in there. So this is one that's really impactful online. And then we have the hair weaving right over here. So again, thank you to Uniwigs for letting me use these. I think that was like perfect. So yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you at Malison at Modern Salon. Thank you, Modern Salon, Pink Pewter, Uniwigs. Happy New Year, everybody.